Today on Showbiz India, it is indeed my pleasure and honor to welcome the one and only, the living legend, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan on Showbiz India.
Thank you.
Amitji, am I correct in understanding the word Amitabh means eternal light?
Eternal light, everlasting light. Ab means abha, which is light. Amit, jo mitaya nahi ja sakta, therefore everlasting, eternal.
True to your name, you made a mark all over the world, and you're everlasting. What qualities do you attribute your phenomenal success to?
This is a difficult question to answer, and as I said, that I've been very fortunate, very lucky. I've worked with some wonderful people. They have produced some of the finest works that I have been associated with and had the honor to be associated with. And the blessings of the people and the fans who have continued to tolerate me for so many years. I guess there's no other formula as such. It's just been, as I said, a great teamwork by some wonderful people. Rishikesh Mukherjee to start with, and Khwaja Amitabhs, who actually gave me the first opening, and Salim Javed, and Manmohan Desai, Prakash Mehra, Yash Chopra, and a host of people that I've been working with. It's just been a wonderful experience.
Over the years, when Amitabh Bachchan first came into the film industry, he must have had certain expectations and certain goals. Today, looking back, do you feel you've achieved all that?
I don't think I came with any particular goal in mind or wanting to achieve something particular or specific. I just wanted to act in movies because I felt it was a natural extension to what I was doing, and on an amateur level. When I was working in Calcutta, and when I was studying in school, and when I was in college. It's only when you get your first opening, and then you have acceptability, and people show their admiration and love towards you, that your goals and expectations rise, because then you have an added responsibility of wanting to satisfy these people who have shown their affection towards you. And in that respect, yes, we're always very tense and very anxious to be able to live up to the expectations of the people. That then becomes your goal, and that becomes your standard of achievement. But there's been nothing personal. I think I've had a wonderful medium to be able to express myself in whatever best way I could. And I guess, as I said earlier, it provided a natural extension to an amateur extracurricular activity of mine, which was acting. And I enjoyed acting. I enjoy acting even now. And this medium gives me that opportunity to be able to be associated.
In your opinion, what do you think, how do you think your fans perceive you?
The fans will always perceive you by what they see on the screen. Those that get to know you personally will form a different impression, perhaps. But whatever is on the screen is not, it's unreal. We don't, even now I'm not wearing my own clothes, it belongs to the company. I have my makeup done, I have, tika, and your hair is done in a particular manner. I'm going to be saying lines which are written by somebody else. That's not me. That's the character that has been conceived by the producer, by the director for that particular product. That then gets magnified on a huge screen, and people sit in this dark hall with background music and close-ups and popcorn and Coke and everything, and they enjoy this, say, oh wow, this is that, oh gosh. They are unnatural things. And fortunately or unfortunately, their identification is with that character that they see. It would be difficult for me to say whether I am that character or not. And that is something I would like to keep for myself. For almost 18 to 20 hours a day, we're playing and behaving like somebody else. Some of the moments one likes to spend with oneself, with one's family, and be your own self. I don't think that that is something I would like to share with everybody, because I already give 18, 20 hours of myself every day to the people.
What about simple things like the human being Amitabh Bachchan? Is he a fussy eater? Does he like this?
No, I'm very simplified in my eating habits. I'm a vegetarian. I love Indian vegetarian food, and if I can get my dal roti and aloo every day, I'm very happy.
What about your hobbies?
One doesn't get time to to pursue any hobbies when you're leading a life which is full of so many hours of work every day. But on the odd occasion when I do get some spare time, I like to listen to music, maybe see a film. I like photography. Spend time with the kids. Yeah.
The fans, like I said, we have a larger-than-life image of you. On the eve of your first release, you must have felt certain butterflies in your stomach. On eve of even now when your films are releasing, do you feel a certain...
Absolutely. Every day, every moment, before each shot, past 28, 30 years, there's no difference in the feeling. Even now, I'm apprehensive about what I'm going to be shooting and how I'm going to be doing it. And every time the director says, start sound and camera and clap and action, you get that rush of blood and you get that feeling in your stomach even now.
And you decided to cut an album, which was majorly accepted and a big hit. How did that feel?
That was again something that was done for a lark. Bali Sagu and me were just sort of chatting with each other, and I was appreciative of his work, and he had some ideas which he wanted to play around with, and we just went ahead and did it. It was a lot of fun, and I quite enjoyed doing it. Quite by accident, I had also ventured into stage shows way back in 81, 83 when I did my world tours in UK, in USA, in the West Indies, etc. And people insisted that I sing. I just sang Mere Angne Mein for the screen, and the movie wasn't even out, and they said, why don't you sing that song? And I sung it, and there was appreciation, and then things just added up, went from one place to the other, and I started doing a lot more on stage, and eventually did some pretty horrible singing songs in films like Silsila and Natralal, etc. But it's all just for fun. It's not anything serious. I'm not a singer.
What about the role of your father in your life?
By far the greatest influence. My parents, both my mother and my father, have been a tremendous influence, great support, and I'm really fortunate because my parents are a wonderful blend of the East and the West. My father, very Eastern, and my mother came from a Western upbringing. Her father was a bar at law way back in the late 1800s. My father from Uttar Pradesh, very basic, came from a very lower middle class family, and not well-to-do at all. She came from a very aristocratic, rich background. I got the best of both, and they have been everything that I have in my life. Whenever when I'm in trouble, or when I'm continuously in trouble anyway, I'm always seeking answers in the way they conduct themselves. I read his works, I read his books, I read his poetry, I read his prose. It just, brings life back into you. And my mother, always encouraging, always full of life and energy, just giving all the understanding that youngsters need at the age that is most important for them when they're making crucial decisions about their life, about their future. Just wonderfully supportive, and it's undoubtedly their blessings which have remained with me and continue to remain with me.
Speaking about your family, congratulations, I'm order. You recently became a
grandfather. Yes, my daughter delivered a baby girl. She's now 3 months old, and is just visiting me at home. And one of the reasons why I'm late today is because I was spending time with her.
How has that changed your life?
Oh, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's like, you're starting all over again. You can hardly believe that, your own daughter, which you were playing around with a couple of years ago, is now delivered another little baby, and it's a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
For a while, we didn't see you in movies, and you came back with Mirza.
That's right.
Why did you choose that particular film?
I took a sabbatical for 5 years because I felt that, I needed to spend some time for myself and be with the family, and quite frankly, I think that I was a little tired with what I was doing, and I just needed to stop doing whatever I was and just be by myself, travel, meet people, just not have the pressure of having to get up at 6 in the morning because you have to go to a shooting. And I took that break for 5 years. I enjoyed myself during that period. I loved being by myself, not being under any pressure, as I said earlier, having lots of time to spend with the kids and the family. And then I formed a corporation to corporatize the entertainment industry. ABCL. And one of the conditions of the corporation was that I act, and so I acted. And Mrityudata was a subject that was brought to me by Mr. Mehul Kumar, and I liked the subject. And we went ahead and did it.
Looking back at your career to this point, what are some of your favorite roles that you've done?
I hope that they've all been my favorites, and I really wouldn't like to distinguish one from the other because I don't really want to upset some people. But, as I was saying, if you were to divide my career into 3 sections, basically, the earlier portion being my earlier films with, as I said, Khwaja Amitabhs introducing me, and Rishikesh Mukherjee, with whom I did my maximum films, Anand and Namak Haram and Chupke Chupke and Bemisal, and then coming onto the phase where I did a lot of films with Salim Javed as writers, brilliant writers, the likes of which we haven't seen again so far. It's a pity that they broke up and went their separate ways. They were terrific. They were just, magic together. Had the good fortune of working in some of their scripts, which were directed by eminent directors like Prakash Mehra, Yash Chopra, Manmohan Desai. That whole phase, Amar Akbar Anthony and Diwar and Sholay and Kabhi Kabhi and Silsila and Muqaddar Ka Sikandar and Sharabi and Naseeb, and just had a wonderful phase with them. And then more recently, when I started working with directors like Mukul Anand, Tinu Anand, who did Khuda Gawah, Agnipat, Hum, and then with Tinu Anand, Shahan Shah, and now I'm working with him in Major Saab. This spell is, of course, is now I think I'm getting into a range where I have to play roles which are more commensurate with my age, and so I'm really waiting to see how this spell goes down with the people, and we'll take it from there.
As an actor, what do you find the most difficult emoting? An emotional scene where you have to cry and show?
Everything is tough when you're acting, because you're acting. I think the toughest thing is to, be able to speak your lines to your leading lady or your co-artist in a manner, in a fashion which conveys to the viewer that this is the first time you're saying it. But we all know that that's not how it happens. We get our lines before, we go over it, we do rehearsals, and we do 20, 30, 40 rehearsals, we do a couple of retakes, and all the time it's the effort to make sure that the people understand that this is the first time you're actually saying it. That's tough. But yes, emotion, dance, action, comedy, that's part of acting. And all those emotions are tough. And when you have to recreate it, at the snap of a finger, that's tough. But the toughest, I think, is to be able to convince the audience that you are actually saying this for the first time.
In conclusion, what is your opinion of the essence of life?
This is something that my father once told me when I was lying in hospital a day before I was to go on stage for my school and probably create history by winning the Best Actor award for the second time. I was terribly disappointed. One day before the actual performance, I got measles and I was in bed in hospital in school. My parents come up, you know how parents come up to the boarding school, it's parents' weekend and so on and so forth. Great expectations, and I was not allowed to act. So he sat with me throughout the performance of the play and just talked to me, and it was just a wonderful feeling because he knew that I would be depressed, and during that conversation he gave me the essence of life, which I have followed and which I believe in, and which I would share with you. He said in Hindi, अगर तुम्हारे मन का हो तो अच्छा, अगर तुम्हारे मन का ना हो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Because then that happens according to the wish of God. And He always wishes well for everyone. So there are times when, you know, we feel that we have done something and we've not liked it and we're disappointed and depressed, but we don't know that there is a hidden hand of the Almighty that is always guiding us, and I'm sure that whatever He has done is done for our best. And I think that that's something I've always believed in and liked and followed. And
on that note, I thank you very much once again for being on Showbiz India. It was indeed an honor and privilege to interview you.
Thank you for having me, Reshma.